Hi, everyone. Lisa Haven here. Well, a ton of things are happening on the economic front that I want you guys to be aware of. Everything from Warren Buffett hoarding cash to Tim Cook selling stocks. Take a look at a couple of these articles here. Bloomberg.com. Maybe Warren Buffett is warning us about something. He's been awfully quiet about stocks, but his mountain of cash is sending a distressing signal. TheWeek.com. Warren Buffett hasn't stockpiled this much cash since right before the financial market. And MarketWatch.com, Apple CEO Tim Cook sells millions in Apple stock. Now, all of this is happening in addition to the trade war with China, the yield curve inversions, mortgage defaults are actually rising, and gold is significantly increasing along with precious metals. So something is very important here and happening with the economy. So I wanted to bring on Bob Kudla with TradeLikeAGenius.com because he has all the inside details on what's going down. So Bob, are you with me over there?
I'm with you, Lisa. How are you?
I'm doing good. So give me the 411. What is going on? Why does it seem like Warren Buffett is sounding an alarm? I mean, he's hoarding 122 million.
Yeah, so Warren Buffett is he's a value investor, number one. And for the last ever since President Trump's been elected, the stock market, in his view, has been overvalued. And now what you're having is the stock market stayed pretty much the same since 2016. But the economy now is starting to get a little bit more shaky. And, you've seen the news here with people calling for recessions, the media, the Federal Reserve, all these people trying to now maybe force that into happening. And basically Warren Buffett is saying, hey, guys, look, there's a reason why I'm the richest man in the world. I don't make stupid decisions. And we agree with him. We talked last month, and when we thought maybe August there might be a stock market crash, and they said, no, they're not going to let that happen yet. But September now is when they're going to have the most important Fed meeting probably in our lives. And I think what's happening now is the market is blowing off. Today the market's up significantly again. And I think they're going to try to push it to all-time highs before the meeting. Then after that, I think all bets are off, Lisa. And I think then we'll probably see a meaningful correction in the stock market, even up to 35%. We talked about that before. The market really is valued, the S&P, around 1,800. And right now it's at 2,900. And I think they're going to push it down to that level. And I think people are going to be disappointed in the Fed's language. And I think people are going to start getting scared because the China thing is not going to get resolved. The media now, we're going into election season. The Federal Reserve now and central banks around the world are openly hostile now to this president. And I think people are going to get a little nervous and say, hey, let's pull the chips off the table here because we may not know what's going to happen with the election. So I agree with that. I think we're going to get probably a blow off, and then we're going to sell off pretty hard. And that's what we've been advising and talking to our subscribers about.
Yeah, and that's why I encourage people, go to TradeLikeAGenius.com and, check out the deals that you have, the specials that you have, because you actually teach people to prepare for the upcoming recession, if you will. And I know we've talked about that, but this is why I am getting the word out. But you've got specials now also through Saturday, correct, on there?
We do. We pre-discounted some bundles for either new investors or people who are a little bit more experienced, and even people who like to trade the cryptocurrencies, because Bitcoin's going to be an incredible hedge against the stupidity of the political system. So you have gold, silver, precious metal miners, and cryptocurrencies are going to be places where people are going to hide out when the stock market really starts to wiggle here, and I think in the next 60 to 90 days. And I think we'll be able to prepare people to do that and also provide them trade signals so that they can actually learn, and we teach them as we show them what trades are good and what trades are going to make them money.
Yeah, and I agree. And that's why we even are putting my stepson in that. So lots of amazing, crazy things, I guess not necessarily amazing, but crazy things happening in the economy. And yeah, and I have to agree, a lot of people are scared and they're not educated on what to do. And that's why I like to bring you on, because it gives us an option. But now, the last time that you came on, we also talked about a recession in the future. And I'm going to throw up this CNBC the article. It's Morgan Stanley, risk of a global recession is high and rising. Now, I believe they put that out over like a month ago. Do you agree with that, or where do you stand on that one?
Yeah, I still hold to our view that the recession will hold off until probably around the election time. And when you talked about the inversion of the yield curve, that usually starts the clock. And so we're probably 250 days away from maybe an official start of a recession. But people have to bear in mind is that President Trump still has a lot of tools at his basically fingertips to drive the economy forward. And I think what you'll see here, probably going into the fall or even into the late winter, is that he'll recommend a pretty extensive infrastructure bill, and he'll force the Democrats to oppose it. And if they don't oppose it, it's going to probably give the last final juice, if you will, to economic activity before we go into something a little bit more serious. And look, it's not the American economy that's doing bad. It's the rest of the world that's in really deep weeds right now. And we're the beneficiary of that. Money's coming in from China, from Japan, from South America. Argentina just went broke again, and from Europe. And when that starts to slow down, then I think that's going to affect us. But right now, we're the one-eyed king in the land of the blind, and that's what's propelling us forward. But at some point, you just can't escape gravity, and things will need to correct. And I think that's what's going to happen late 2020 into 2021. Look, everybody, you have enough runway here. They're giving you a gift. They usually don't do this for you. They're giving you an opportunity to get out at the top and to be able to set your money aside. Look, I'm a late middle age guy, and I can't afford a 30 or 40% correction going into my senior years. And I think that's they're keeping people from getting out of these markets, and everybody's in these passive funds, Lisa. And once this selling starts, it'll be breathtaking. And then people are going to panic. So I've always been advising people all year long is to get out a little bit every month, but maintain exposure to the precious metals, because that's where people are going to be hiding out. And look, the stock market really hasn't gone anywhere since a year after President Trump's been elected. So all it's been doing is chopping up and down. So people aren't really making any headway. So your risk of missing out, if you sell out into this month of the Fed meeting, is low compared to what you can lose. So I don't want to be dramatic, but people need to really be starting to think about managing risk at this point. And I've been really optimistic up until this point, but now I'm starting to put on my reality goggles, and I think people need to start being a little bit more cautious.
I agree. I think we're heading into, we've seen these patterns before. Like you mentioned, the yield curve inversions. That is the start of the clock. It has a pretty good track record on, when this happens, this has always happened, a recession as a result. And like you said, it's a time clock. So now we're just waiting. And obviously we have Tim Cook selling his own stock, and we have Warren Buffett saying, I'm going to hoard this right now, 122 million, I believe. But he's hoarding massive, million or billion? Gosh.
It's billion.
Billion? Yeah, there you go. I think I said million earlier, but I meant B. But, and my notes have the wrong number for whatever reason. But anyway, I'm like, I know he's worth a lot more, but billion. So, when we see all these things, it does kind of send chills down your spine, if you will, to think like, wow, we're really close and we need to get ready. And again, this is why I send people in your direction, because I care about the audience and I care about them getting prepared for what is coming. And that's exactly what you do. So can you just share, just your last bit, your concluding thoughts, and as well as information on your website if people want to check out tradelikeagenius.com. Yeah,
so here's my concluding remarks. When they started lowering interest rates, and look, the 10-year yield is almost as low as it's ever been. So everybody's ahead of the Fed, but it's not helping the housing market. And that should send alarm bells off. You talked about the mortgage defaults, and you have credit card defaults, and so that's called pushing on a string, Lisa, and that should send alarm bells when lower rates can't translate into higher home prices. So So that's another cog in the wheel of something to be worried about, and I think the Fed's going to be too far behind it. Now, regarding Trade Genius, so we help inform people. We provide information. We provide trading rooms for crypto and for stocks, and we also provide training packages to help people either beginning or more advanced training, and then also personal coaching. And so you can go to tradelikeagenius.com and you can select one of the bundles that's most appropriate to you. If you're unsure, you can just call in and talk to my sales guy, and he'll be happy to identify what's the most appropriate package for you, and get you in the room. And once you're in there, we really have a great community of people, like-minded people, all want to help each other. It's win-win, and we'll help you make money nearly every day in the market. We're doing very well, and we just got off a big run with the miners and the metals, and now we're just looking for our next opportunities.
Again, you guys can check that out in the description box below. And these are good. The rates that you see on tradelikeagenius.com are good through Saturday. So make sure you check them out before then and get those extra special offers. So thanks again for coming on the broadcast, Bob. I truly appreciate it.
Thanks, Lisa. Have a great day.
You too. And thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, and that was Bob Kudla signing out.